Hello, everyone. I missed the transition. I did it. I'm so sorry. I failed you. I failed you yet again. Then again, it's not an Andrew Hawkrattle stream unless something goes wrong just a little bit. That's just kind of how it works. So welcome, hello to the stream. I was just looking before we started at all the names in here, and y'all, it makes me so happy to see you here. I talked about space, and people started dropping stars and spaceships and all kinds of fun stuff, and it makes me really happy. Melissa's here. Melissa's always here. Austin, Alice, hello, friends. Sandrine, Jack, our lovely friend. Hello from London, JC. Hi, Nick. Yes, Gregory Wolf, Hawk is here. We are here, we are live, and we are ready to go. My forehead is freshly powdered, so there is no shine. Hello. So if you don't know me, hi. My name's Andrew Hawkrattle. You can just call me Hawk. It's H-O-C-H, very German. And I will be your guide and your space admiral as we journey through the stars in the next 2 weeks going through our daily creative challenges. We will be learning a little bit about Illustrator as we have some fun and go on a journey through space. Ooh, space. Hey, Malu. Hello, friends. Francisco, Mustafa was here yesterday. And Lindsay, hello. So if you want to get to know me and follow along with some of the stuff that we are doing, you can go here, right there, hawk.co, on Behance, on Instagram, on Twitter, wherever you want to follow. You can follow along. You also can check my other streaming schedules at hawk.live. I will be live tonight on Behance if you want to join us for some branding outside of this. And yes, just call me Hawk. It's pronounced Hawk, H-O-C-H. So great to see you. Follow along. Say hi to me. Send me a DM. I love seeing that stuff. So I have a couple things to talk about before we get started. If this is your first time here, that's fine. Welcome. It's actually day one of our challenges, so it's perfect time for you to come in. Hello from Dubai, Arifa. Super fun. Oh, aliens, Aaron. Cool. So this is a perfect time for you to get involved. And what I want to do is I want to hop over here real quick and show you all a couple opportunities and ways that you can get involved. So the first is the Adobe Creative Residency and Fund. It's a great way for you to get involved. You've heard of the Adobe Creative Residency. Well, they have selected 2 people to be the residents this time, but they've also opened up a $1 million fund for creatives to apply for commissions or to apply to work on a project that they love. Ivanka, we are getting there. We're getting to the space. We're not going to space yet. We're going to get there. And so there is a great way for you to do this. Ahmad will drop this link in chat so that you can apply for maybe a commission from anywhere from $500 to $5,000. The next thing is the daily creative challenges. This is where we will be for the majority of today, is behance.net/challenge/illustrator. That is the place to get all of our source files, to get all the information, to watch the other videos that are coming up. So come here, click on this top button, and that will get you signed up and get notifications every time that we are going live. Also, again, if you want to go, hawk.co, H-O-C-H-D-O-T-C-O, you can subscribe to me on Behance, and then you'll get notifications every time I go live otherwise. So I'll be going live tonight doing branding, so make sure you subscribe, and you'll get a notification for that as well. Something else that we're doing is we now have Creative Challenge curated galleries. So as you're doing these challenges, if you post using hashtag AI Daily Challenge, our team will be looking and pulling those to be featured in the Best of Behance. So publish a great study either after or maybe on each one, and make sure you hashtag those AI Challenge. Another way that you can be involved is you can join our Discord by going right here, bit.ly/AI Discord. This is the place to be. And speaking of the place to be, if you're on YouTube, I see you. Hello, YouTube. You're not in the right place. You're missing out on 90% of the party. The party right now is in the Behance chat. People have stars. People have spaceships. There are aliens in here. Our friend Jennifer Poole is here. Don't you want to meet her? Come on over to Behance, behance.net/live, and that's where you can join our chat. Cool. One more way that you can get involved is to post on Discord. Which is here. It looks like people have been posting their challenges from the last few days. We did title cards yesterday, and so today people are posting their title cards. There are a ton of these, so I'm trying to stay on top of feedback, but man, Y'all are killing it. Y'all are doing such a good job with these. So post here in that challenge tab, and going again to this bit.ly link will get you right there. One last thing that I want to talk about is right here. Over here. So this is something happening on Friday called Office Hours. It's where Nick Longo and I review your portfolios and give you some feedback. You can submit your portfolios by tweeting, posting on Instagram, or posting on Behance using hashtag Adobe Office Hours. So submit those and then tune in Friday at 1 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, and we will be live giving you feedback. All right, those are all of my announcements. I have no more announcements. We have killed 5 minutes doing announcements, and I think we need that time. So I think it's time to go to space. I think it's time to jump into our challenge and go to space. If you guys want to drop stars and aliens and rocket ships in chat, it's time to go to space. So I will see you in space. And we're back. We are officially in space. Hello and welcome to our daily creative challenges. My helmet is still keying out, so there's not much I could do about that. But thank you so much for joining us. We are now in space. Over the next 2 weeks, we will be embarking on a journey called Mission Space. And like we saw on Discord, some people are naming it something different. That's fine. We're all about telling stories over the next week. I'm going to show you some basics, but I want you to be telling a story with what you do, which will be super fun. Yes, that's a space jog. That is. And it is my social distancing suit. I am wearing this to the grocery store later today. And of course, there's a ceiling fan in my spaceship. Why would there not be? So today, we have some very special guests for our daily challenge. And I think, oh, they're here. Hello, friends. This is my friend Bob. Over here, Bob is an astronaut. He has his mask on because he is properly socially distancing from me, who does not have my mask on. So great job. And over here, we have our space shuttle that we came to space with. Now, looking at the space shuttle, I want to take something that's in the real world and convert it to the digital world. And that's what we'll be doing today. And a lot of times, things that are in the real world look complex, but they're actually really simple. So as I start to look at this spaceship, which we're going to build today, we want to build our spaceship so that we can go to space. I start to see some simple shapes, right? Let's use our imaginations and do this. Imagination. Oh, look at that. So as designers, if we start to look at this as a simple shape and different simple shapes that are built up, then we can very easily build this. And that's what we're going to be doing today, is building our own spaceship. And before we hop in there, I want to give a shout out to a friend. So we talk about a lot of creativity. My friend Bethany Cordes. Hi, Bethany. I think she's watching. She has conquered a new creative endeavor doing fillable forms with Adobe PDFs. So good job. Any creativity, we applaud here. It doesn't have to be Illustrator. It doesn't have to be in any specific thing. Creativity is creativity, and we love that. Good job, Bethany. All right, so looking at these simple shapes, let's hop over into Illustrator. There we go. So I've brought our spaceship over into Illustrator, and we're going to start looking at this in terms of simple shapes. Today, we'll be using the shape tool a lot, which will be, oh man, I did it again. I left my Slack on. I'm sorry for everyone that just thought that they got an important message. That is not the case. All right. So we are going to build this out using simple shapes. And like we saw over here in our space, it is really a rectangle, a triangle, a couple triangles, and then maybe some squares. So I'm going to start looking on this and building over it using this tool over here. If we click and hold, we have the rectangle tool, rounded rectangle tool, ellipse, polygon, and star tool. Now I'm going to start with the base using the rectangle tool, which is just M. And to use this, we are going to click and drag. So it's basically pinning one corner and then starting to drag out. And I just want to get that middle kind of part. Oops. Looks like the lines that I have on are way too thick. So I'm going to change the thickness of this to just 10. There we go. And now that I have that, we're going to start looking at maybe this. So this looks like a triangle, right? So it's a triangle with maybe another triangle coming in right here. So I'm going to go ahead and click over here, hold down on the rectangle tool. And a triangle, if you think about it, this is my favorite way to make things. A triangle is a star, except instead of having 5 points, it has 3. So we're going to click and hold, select the star tool. And when we click, we are going to set the points to 3. And what that does is it's going to make us a perfect triangle. I'm going to use the pen tool here by hitting P to take out these middle anchor points. We just don't need them. And then I am going to use the scale tool by hitting S, which is right over here. And I'm going to click and drag holding Shift. That will scale it proportionally for us. So I'm just going to line this up, by clicking and dragging over to this corner. And again, I want this to, I'm more paying attention to this angle here. So I want it to kind of find that angle. And then to make the same on the other side, I'm just going to right-click Transform, hit Reflect, and I'm going to reflect it vertically by making a copy. So that's just showing us that it is making a copy vertically. So there we go, we have those. And let's do one more triangle doing this angle here. So we're going to go star. And now when you're making this, you don't have to make a space shuttle like this, right? You can make something that's a little more like this if you want to. You can do a flying saucer. You can do something that's this shape. Yes, I'm surrounded by spaceships. Something that's more this shape. Whatever shape you want, you can make a spaceship in that shape. Just think about it in terms of basic shapes. So we have these down. I'm going to make one more for this very harsh angle that's coming in here. And again, we are just grabbing points using the direct selection tool, which is A. There we go. And I'm actually not caring about a lot of these points because we are going to use the Pathfinder to bring them together. All right, let's bring this over here. There we go. And we're going to make this symmetrical after the fact. And then we are going to... Wow, what did I just turn on? Welcome. These are the daily creative challenge. Oh, I didn't share the screen. I'm so sorry. Thank you so much. Got it. I do that all the time. So we're going to come over here. I'm going to put a rectangle again down here. And it looks like this rectangle is curving down. So when you have a point, you can hit P to grab the pen tool, and it will make an extra anchor point. And we will bring that down just to make that extra little bit right there. It's funny because you guys are on like a 30-second delay. And so once I realize I have to watch all the messages come in about my screen not being shared, and then I cry. Cool. So we have made the base of our spaceship. And this is something that I would love to see as you build it, kind of the idea of the basic shapes. We've used a lot of triangles and a lot of rectangles. And with this rectangle, we want this to be at a point. So again, I'm going to select the rectangle, grab the pen tool using P. I'm going to click right here in the middle, and then I am going to start pulling it up, right? And that's giving us that nice little perfect arrow. And what I want to do now is make sure that these are all centered. So what I like to do is I'm going to group these together and just hit the center up here in my align panel. All right, let's keep this going. And again, I'm just centering these to make sure that they are indeed centered. All right, so now we have, hello, Carrie. Now we have all of our basic shapes, right? And if you're building a different version or a different kind, that's fine. Just try to break it down in simple shapes. So we're going to come in here, and what we're going to do now is we're going to start to use the Pathfinder, and we're going to start to use the rounded corners tools. I'm going to blow this up so it's a little bit bigger so we have a good space for our spaceship. And then I'm also, just to be safe, going to click and hold Alt or Option and make a copy of it down here just to have a backup. Cool. So now we're going to come in here and start building out these shapes. What I like to do is build in basically layers. We are going to click here, and I'm going to change this to white. I'm going to change the fill color to white just so I can see what it's going to look like. So I'll bring that to the front, and I'm starting to see what this could look like. I want the extra little pieces. I'm actually going to delete that so we can see it. So these extra little pieces, I want to go into these triangles here. So I'm going to select these. I'm going to select the extra triangles, and I'm going to come over here to my Pathfinder panel. You also can do Window and Pathfinder. And I'm going to click this first one here, which is just Join. And yes, I am in bright mode. I don't like the dark mode, and so I do bright mode. So we are going to click right here. There we go. And now I'm just going to get rid of this inside shape because I don't need it. We'll leave it. I don't need it. Now we have these edges. All right. Are we missing any shapes? It doesn't look like it right now. So I actually want this to be shorter. So I can hit A, which is the direct selection, and grab these 3 anchor points at the top and just start to pull them down. There we go. All right, so now we kind of have our spaceship out of these simple shapes. It is all pretty much triangles and rectangles now, and this is where it starts to come together. So I'm actually going to make these thicker. Yeah. And I want to play with rounding these corners, right? Everything here is very rounded and smooth transitions. So what I'm going to do is just use the direct selection tool, which is A, and we're going to click all these corners. And I'm going to start, see these little nodes that pop up, these little dots right here? I'm going to grab these and start to pull them down. And what that will do is it will start to round everything out. So I'm actually going to grab these corners, round them out more than the top. There we go. So then we have a little bit of a pointed top. Yeah, it's looking good. It's looking good. So now we have this shape that's very complex here. And you can see it's very harsh here, but then soft once it gets to this side. So I'm just going to grab these points and start to pull them out. And you'll see that transition starts to become very gradual. And to me, it actually feels like this whole thing is too wide. So I'm just going to grab all these anchor points over here, and I'm holding Shift and hitting the arrow keys to pull them in a little bit. There we go. And we're going to select these again using the direct select tool and pull them out so that they are a very soft, smooth transition. It looks like these are, again, very soft, and so I am going to join these bottom parts, these triangles and this rectangle down here. There we go. That's going somewhere. It's going somewhere. It's doing a thing. Let's do... Yeah, let's round these out. Let's just try that and see what happens. So we're going to round these out just a little bit. There we go. That feels better for me. And I'm going to bring this in using that selection tool. There we go. That feels right. And again, these have a harsh edge, but what I do want to do is make those little panels that we see. And I'm just grabbing the pen tool, which is P. I am clicking on this path and then holding Shift to make a perfect line. And we're going to drag that again over, holding click and alt over to the side. All right, and we're going somewhere, right? It's starting to look a little bit like a spaceship. And again, as you're doing your challenge, there's no wrong way to do this. You can have your spaceship be a flying saucer. You can have your spaceship be something completely extraterrestrial. Make your own story and invent it with simple shapes. So now we're going to add on these little boosters on the bottom, and then we'll add some detail. These boosters are really, so when we look at them, they really are rectangles that have been rounded and kind of brought in a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here, and we're going to go back over to the rectangle tool, and we are going to make a rectangle here. I'm actually going to make a couple of these just for fun. All right. Oops. There we go. Some blasters for takeoff. And like we saw, yes, it's a challenge. Hello. It does look like a nice logo so far. I agree. We are going to grab these anchor points. So the great thing about simple shapes is you can use these anchor points and start to bring them in. Oops. and that's going to give us a new shape. And I'm just tapping these with the arrow keys. So now it's a little too long. There we go. So now we have this nice rocket blaster shape by having that rectangle that has the anchor points pulled in just a little bit. So if we zoom out here, we got about 5 minutes. So I'm going to show you a little detail that we can add is we're going to keep using these lines, but I want to use the pen tool here. And the pen tool basically is just putting points, right? It's like those rubber band games where you connect the dots. Is we're going to make some dots and kind of, I don't know, just fake it. So we're going to click, 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 click. And now we have a really rough shape, but it is hiding behind that clean black line, so it looks like it's perfect. Now let's also put in a little window. This is the only place that we are going to use a circle. But I'm going to put in a little window here. And I just did that by using the ellipse tool or hitting L. And I don't like this. I like the curved version of a window. So I'm going to click this, again, holding Alt and Shift to make a copy. I'm going to hit S to scale, and I'm going to scale this up a little bit. And then again, use the Pathfinder to take this top object out of the bottom object. We're basically punching it out. So if I hit this one right here, which is subtract, now we have a cool little window for our spaceship. There we go. And maybe let's do some paneling like what's happening on the back here. And again, just grabbing the pen tool and using the stroke to add this paneling. Now, when I click and drag holding Alt to make a copy, I can hit Command D, and that is going to do that again. It's just going to make as many copies as what you had done. And then we'll do one line, down the middle. There we go. I'm going to turn off my guides. And there we go. We made a spaceship out of simple shapes. And if you see, we have, I'll overlay actually, I'll overlay this shape that we had started with to make this path. So let's bring this up here. I'll put it on top. And if you can see, it really is all those basic shapes that we have just rounded and joined together. So what I want you to do is think about how you want your spaceship to be. You can find a reference photo or something that maybe is something for you to trace over, and think about how to break it into simple shapes. Think about what can be rounded, what can be augmented, but what are those basic simple shapes? And then you're going to use pretty much all the basic simple shapes over here in the rectangle tool panel and clicking and going through. So that was pretty much it for our challenge. Thanks for joining me today in space. Again, if you want to get involved, if you want to rewatch this, or if you want to download this source file, you can go over here to behance.net/challenge/illustrator. This is the place you can rewatch our replay, which is happening right now. You can get my source files so that you can have a prompt, you can have a little encouragement, and some guides for you. So go download those, do all that, and make sure that you follow this, Hawk.co on Behance. I believe there's a button right next somewhere for you to do that. And I'll be live tonight at 8 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time doing some branding for all of you to tune in and, hang out and be a part. So, again, I'm Andrew Hawkrattle. This was super fun. And let's take one last look at our spaceship. There it is. We did it. So I want you, sorry, this is one more thing that I need to talk about that I forgot. When you have made your spaceships, you can post them in Behance. We will give you some feedback. Let's see if anyone has made a spaceship. Not yet. Still doing title cards. So once you've made your spaceship, you can join our Discord by going to bit.ly/AI Discord. This is where you get involved, where you can post things, and I will be hopping over there right now. In this minute, I will be hopping over there to give feedback. So you can drop your stuff in there. You can get feedback. You can just say hi to me if you want. Send me a DM. Hop in that chat. But thanks so much for hanging out, everyone. Sandrine, Michelle, Nasine, Dan, Colby, Amira. Got it. I will see you again tomorrow, same place, same time, as we continue on with a new challenge, and maybe we'll even see some planets. Ooh, fun. All right, I will see you guys later. Make sure that you stay tuned for Matt Ray coming up with Howard Pinsky next, and then Alice Lee to finish out the day. So stay tuned, hang out. When you go into the next chat, show them some love by dropping some stars, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.